Hey all, DT Neil coming at you with more speculation and science fiction genre, storytelling, fantasies, horror, and other things. I was talking a lot about cyberpunk, and even little things like when you think about littering. I don't litter. The idea of that has always been repellent to me. Even as a kid, I was always like, I just never did that. I couldn't understand how people did that. I even had friends who like littered, and I stopped them and picked everything up and threw it away properly. Like it's for me, it was just like you just don't do that. But when you walk around, and I'm speaking from an American, growing up in America, you look around, you find litter, right? Litter is all over the place to varying degrees, and littering, I always feel like is it's like personal pollution, right? While a corporation may be dumping raw sewage into a waterway or nuclear waste in a public, some area, and they just dump it. I mean, that's littering. It's just done on an industrial scale. But on a personal scale, I always think like, what is in the mindset of somebody who litters, besides like laziness and not having any sense of investment in the land around them. They just, toss something over the shoulder, out the window, by the roadside. They just, dump it, and that stuff just sort of sits there unless it's picked up. And going back to Cyberpunk, like there's very much that idea. It's a world drowning in litter and pollution and just that lack of caring. A sense of presumption or entitlement to just, what I want to do is what I want to do. I'm going to, there goes that wrapper over my shoulder, done. Or like a cruise ship dumping in the ocean. We have these giant sargassos in the oceans. There's 5 of them, which is just litter, swirling microplastics and such. That is a vision that is very cyberpunk. So it's the negative side of it, but it's very much that idea of just this disposable world, everyone just tossing everything, the needs of the moment. And I've got a couple stories coming out this year that are science fiction. One is cyberpunk, so I've got a lot of cyberpunk in my mind. But one I was going to mention it's already out there is this one, The Charge of the Wolverhino, which I wouldn't exactly say it's cyberpunk, but it kind of is from my perspective. It's not an exercise in literary style the way cyberpunk is. It's more of an adventure story. It involves a particular character who is a former trophy hunter who has been approached by this company Gaiacon to, quote, test out a new product, which is really a chimera, the Wolverhino, which is a genetic crossbreed of a wolverine and a rhinoceros for this kind of great hunter experience. And so it's kind of it's an adventure tale that's like one part Hemingway in London, one part William Gibson, and one part Paul Verhoeven woven into this story of this hunt that takes place of this monster which has been created for the entertainment of a ruling elite, of a morally bankrupt ruling elite who are, either the existing classic animals are already extinct, or they want to have something that's new because the market demands it. And so that idea of what I was saying earlier, like the disposable world and the mangling that occurs for the benefit of a ruling elite, that's very much apparent. And it's a novella. It's not a long story by design. But The Charge of the Wolverhino. It's my own toe dip into that cyberpunk kind of ethos. And there are other books, like I said, they're coming out in this year, one of which is definitively cyberpunk. But there are other ones. There's another one that's also a science fiction, tangling with the problem of progress and how we can proceed as a species. You'll see. I'll talk about them later this year when they come out. But a lot of that's on my mind. I think about that a lot. What we can do as a species, what we must do if we hope to survive, and whether maybe we even should survive. That's the thing too. As we move toward our maturity, there's an issue of whether we actually will prevail, or should prevail, or can prevail in the face of the challenges that we're presented.